Hi guys, this is what was Pearl Harbor. We are still in part of World War II, but this is an isolated event in World War II. We're going to learn a lot about it. This looks like a ship. There's lots of airplanes, and he has a big gun. I wonder where this will be. Harbor. What do we know about a harbor? That there's lots of water. On the first page, there is a big plane. Ooh, look, some bombs. But it's written by Patricia, Brennan, Demouth, illustrated by John Mantha. These are really good books. We love them. All right, are you ready? What was Pearl Harbor? This is land. What is this? What is this? Water. There's a military base. It looks like there's a landing strip for airplanes. There's mountains. I wonder where Pearl Harbor is. December 7th, 1941. It was another bright and beautiful Sunday at Pearl Harbor. Nearly every day was lovely on the Hawaiian island of Oahu. So it's in Hawaii, and Hawaii is in the United States of America. So Hawaii has a lot of different islands. This one is on Oahu. In 1941, Pearl Harbor was home to a giant military base. Altogether, 18,000 U.S. Navy and U.S. Army men were based there. More than 100 warships docked at the harbor. The fleet included 8 massive battleships, armored and armed to the hilt. Most of them stretched the length of 2 football fields. There were airfields scattered around the island too, filled with hundreds of American warplanes. The American sailors and airmen were training hard in case the United States joined the World War II. The war, however, seemed far away. All the fighting was in Europe and Africa. The only threat in Pacific was from Japan. Lately, tensions had grown between Japan and America, but peace talks were underway. So on this December morning, the men at Pearl Harbor were thinking about their Sunday plans, not war. Oh, look, what do you see? Some planes. Look, they're playing instruments. They're raising the flag. At 7:55 a.m., sailors on every ship were getting ready to raise the flag aboard the battleship Nevada. A Navy band lined up to play the Star-Spangled Banner. Some of the band members saw planes in the distance. They were flying low to the ground. It seemed odd, but the men thought little of it. U.S. pilots were probably having drills. The planes, however, kept coming straight towards the harbor. That was even odder. Some of the band started to feel nervous. What was going on? Then, just as the band began playing, fighter planes flew directly over the harbor, and they started dropping bombs. Oh no! One plane dove over the Nevada and started spraying the band with bullets. The band saw a red sun on its wing, the symbol of Japan. All doubts vanished. This was a Japanese attack. For just a moment, the players lost the beat, but they refused to stop in the middle of their national anthem. They played to the end, then raced for cover. Amazingly, no bullets hit them. Thousands of others were not so lucky. All around the Nevada, American sailors were dying as battleships exploded. The Japanese were hammering Pearl Harbor in the air attack. For just a moment, the players lost the beat, but they refused to stop. Oh, I already read that. Japanese were hammering Pearl Harbor in an air attack. They had caught the United States by complete surprise. By the time the attack ended, a couple of hours later, 2,402 Americans were dead. The events that that day plunged the United States into World War II, a war that would not end until the summer of 1945. Look at that. So these are battleships, right? Because we know that they were in the harbor. December 7th, 1941, at Pearl Harbor, became a day burned forever into America's memory. Okay, let's see what this says. Pearl Harbor is on the island of Oahu, Hawaii. At the time of the attack, Hawaii was a U.S. territory. It would become the 50th state in 1959. Besides the harbor itself, there were shipyards, airfields, power plants, barracks, office building, and Navy hospital with 1,000 beds. In the middle of the harbor was Ford Island. 7 battleships, the pride of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, were anchored together on the eastern side of the island, lined up neatly in what was called Battleship Row. These ships were the Arizona, California, Maryland, Nevada, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and West Virginia. On the day of the attack, a repair ship called the Vessel was also there, moored beside the Arizona. The battleship Pennsylvania was dry docked nearby. Battleship Row was the prime target of the Japanese torpedo pilots. So there's Ford Island, the Naval Air Station, Battleship Row, Pearl Harbor, and this is on the island of Oahu, right?
Right.
So remember, it had a landing strip for airplanes. You can go. And the ships were out on Battleship Row, yes. So in your notes, you can make ships. There were over 100 warships. Don't know if you guys can see that. If you look real close, over 100 warships.
Whoa!
It's a lot.
That was a lot!
Yes, and in the morning, 7:55, who attacked?
No,
Okay, so who is hitting Oahu? Yes. Japan. And the flag is white with a what color circle? Red. Good job, Mary Kate. Red. So it was the Navy, over 18,000 Army and Navy soldiers.
I know who was in the Navy. Mary Kate's sister, Kate.
Mary Kate's sister Kate and Michelle, yes, they're both in the Navy.
Yeah.
You're right. So are they fighting our country or protecting our country? Protecting our country.
Just like Mary Kate's sister was protecting her country.
So we know that there were peace talks, but was Japan being peaceful?
No.
No. They hurt us. And how
Yeah.
many people died? 2,402. So now what are we going to join? World War II. World War II. Because was Japan an ally in World War II? No. Who were they with? Who were we fighting?
With Japan.
But who were we fighting in World War II? And Hitler. So who was Japan friends with? Hitler. And were we for or against Hitler? Against Hitler. So now we got hit by World War II, so we are going to join the fight. Remember, we were really late to join the fight in World War II, yes?
Yeah.
But now we got hurt, and so we're going to protect our
Country.
Yes, ma'am. All right, we'll see you for the first chapter.